One of the Capitol rioters, known as a man who has developed a case of Foxitis on January 6th, went on CNN and talked to Chris Cuomo and said that he had believed that one of the reasons that he went to the Capitol was, again, because he had watched nothing but Fox News and believed that America was being robbed of a president when he had participated in the insurrection. Now, the man is named Anthony Antonio, and he was charged with 5 federal crimes related to being in the Capitol riot. And he told Cuomo on primetime that he got wrapped up in what was being told to him and what was on TV, specifically Fox News, and as a result, truly believed that Trump had won the election. In fact, here's some of that interview. Take a look.
What were you hearing and seeing be reinforced that made you so revved up?
I would basically say, I really got into it when the election started. When election night happened and everything was going on, I truly believed that Trump won the election. As of right now, I acknowledge and I know that Joe Biden is our president. That's not a mystery. That's a fact. But I felt like, maybe I believed that America was being robbed of a president, and I now know that that was a lie.
All right, so now the charges against Antonio included violent entry, disorderly conduct in Capitol grounds, destruction of property. So, you get the whole smashing things and smashing windows and breaking furniture and things like that. So now, Foxitis, right? Sounds kind of funny when you think about it, right? But there's actually a little bit of truth to that in the power of propaganda. Not that it should have absolved this guy of any of the consequences for anything he did, obviously. But Antonio has been alleged to have shouted threatening statements at police. I actually don't think that's a big problem. Poured water on an officer being dragged down the Capitol steps. I get, what was he trying to waterboard him or something? I don't know. Then he had stole a riot shield and a gas mask, entered the Capitol through shattered windows, tossed broken furniture around, and so all of that. This is according to court filings. Now, his entry into the pipeline was actually kind of interesting. And so, we talk about the alt-right pipeline, how people get sucked into, conservative, especially conservative ideologies online, right? And so that didn't happen because he wasn't watching the internet. He wasn't watching YouTube videos, but he was watching a steady diet of Fox News. In fact, his lawyer said that Antonio had lost his job at the beginning of the pandemic, and for the next 6 months, religiously watched Fox News. Quote, he believed what was being fed to him. Well, yeah, of course. Of course they believe it. Uncritically, by the way. And that's, of course, a problem with people not being critical of what they see, of the media that they consume. Now, y'all know not to just believe me. Y'all know to, go and look, nobody's corrected me more in my entire lifetime than both my YouTube and my Twitch audience. Honestly, if I get something wrong, y'all know it and y'all tell me. Okay. And that's good. Because I believe that's holding me accountable. And I appreciate that. I appreciate being held accountable. I want to be as correct as much as I can. I want to be factually correct. And so, unfortunately, with Fox News, they don't have that. And they have, by the way, along with not having that, they also don't want to have that. Their entire business model is all about making sure to spread lies and disinformation. And that's the point. That's the point. And so I showed you yesterday, there was a couple of Trump supporters that were being interviewed by CNN as well. And they still believed in the big lie. And what did they say? I saw it on TV. That was their answer. And so That's the problem. You have these outlets, you have people, Fox News and all of these cable TV outlets that are spreading disinformation to millions of people. Millions of people. Fox News is dangerous. And you wonder why I cover it all the time, since I'm an internet guy. Again, the reason that I cover it is because Fox News reaches millions and millions of people. They're considered to be an authoritative source on YouTube, being spread all over Facebook, and the stuff that they say, it's just not true. This is not true at all. All right, it's fake. It's false. It's literal fake news. They will lie about things to your face. And one of the last segments that I talked about, this is an example, talked about Biden's child care plan. Biden's child care plan, nationalization. That's what they're saying about it. Oh, we're going to nationalize child care and force all the children into government-run union, child care centers. Not true at all. No truth into that whatsoever. Absolutely ridiculous. And then, of course, you go anywhere on the internet and you see, oh my God, but the jobs report, great example of that as well. Disappointing jobs report. Understandable, but, we're still coming out of a pandemic here, and people are still, worried and concerned about vaccines, and not about the vaccines themselves, but about the coronavirus, and they haven't gotten their vaccines yet, and they're worried that not enough people have gotten their vaccines yet, and people are still out there, not wearing masks and doing things like that, and still you got conservatives online that are like, it's because Biden's raised taxes. Biden hasn't raised any taxes. Yes, does he want to? Does he have a plan to raise taxes on corporations? Yeah, but that hasn't passed through Congress. And they're like, Biden killed jobs because he's already raised taxes. When? Again, it's the disinformation that comes out of Fox News. And so they will spread just sometimes the most innocuous lies, as well as bigger lies as well. And then, of course, you've got, along with that, Newsmax, OAN, and other, other channels. Newsmax, for example, just apologized for misleading viewers on the election because they were forced to by Dominion voting system in one of their billion-dollar lawsuits. They settled that. But you've got so many outlets, both large and small, still spreading lies, and Dominion can't sue them all. There's a serious issue with the far-right pipeline, especially on YouTube, driven by algorithms that take you to more and more extreme right-wing content. Fox News is also on YouTube. Fox News also part of that pipeline. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how do you fix that. How do you enforce people telling the truth? Right? This is some uncharted territory that we have today online. And so, I don't know. It is clear, though, that as a result of this pipeline, you've got a right wing that is more radicalized than ever, and that is dangerous. And they, a lot of them could end up becoming violent, like what we saw on January 6th. Now, there's one more clip here. I want to show you that.
Did you not read or see anything else except what was on Fox and Newsmax and that whole ilk of right-wing propaganda?
I can't recall everything that I saw. I will be honest. We're now, how many months from it? This is my first time on live TV too. So it's one of those things where it's like I can't recall every single thing that I saw, that I heard, and everything like that. I can just say, I believed what was being told to me.
Do you blame Fox?
Chris, may I say something?
Yeah, hold on one second, Counselor. Do you blame Fox? Do you blame former President Trump? Who do you blame?
I blame myself. I take full accountability for my actions. And because of that, I have gone to God and asked for forgiveness. I've prayed, God, please forgive me. I take full responsibility for my actions. This isn't a cop out, right? God tells us to come to him and beg for forgiveness. And that's what I've done. And that's what I asked for America. I asked for America to please forgive me. I shouldn't have been there that day. I shouldn't have been involved on those Capitol steps.
Now, he further added, as far as when there was a Capitol DC officer that was being attacked. This was DC Metropolitan Police Officer Michael Fanone. He had witnessed that assault. Antonio said he had locked eyes with him, pleaded with him for help, and that he had seen death in his eyes. Quote, "I didn't help him when I should have." He said he would not be able to get the image of him out of his head. And I hope he doesn't. I hope that sticks with him. What he was allowing to happen to another human being. And if this guy is serious about taking responsibility, and it's not just, garbage to get him out of, facing some sort of obvious, accountability for his actions for actually being there. If he's actually serious, well, then he needs to take steps to show that he's serious and take responsibility for what he was involved in. If he gets done, when he gets done with whatever sentence he's given, if he's given any, then he should try to get people out of the pipeline. Simple as that. Now, that doesn't mean not being a conservative. You can still have conservative views. But if you're in that far-right pipeline, you're pretty far gone. You're not really a conservative anymore. You become a full-on fash. That's not where you want to go. And so I think if he's serious, then he should try to get people out of that pipeline and really own up to what he's done by stopping people from entering. Now we'll see if he's really sorry based on his actions and what he does, not his words, because actions do speak much, much louder than words. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.